Maybe you used to identify as a Christian, maybe you used to be real tight with God, but now you're kind of just floating around and you're just not too sure how to get back into it. You're not too sure if God even wants to talk to you. You are just kind of feeling lost in life and need some direction. If that's you, then this video is for you because I'm going to share with you the 3 ways I get really, really close to God and how I spend time with Him. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Kate. I'm an educator, a life coach, and a lover and child of God. God plays a huge part in every single area of my life. I love Him so much. He saved my life. He saved me from depression. He saved me from suicide. He saved me from some of the darkest moments in my life. And I'm just here to share my journey with you. So I hope you find this video useful. If this seems like a crazy concept to you, it's okay because it was a crazy concept to me as well. I was that religious Christian and I would do everything that seemed right. I went to church for many years without having a personal relationship with God. I rocked up to Christian conferences. I was jumping at the front row, singing worship songs, listening to what other people had to say about Him. There was always a third party between me and God. I barely read the Bible. I only listened to what people said to me about the Bible. I was doing everything you would say a Christian would do, but in the last 4 to 5 years, I've changed from being a Christian to just a follower of Jesus and a lover of God, and that for me made all the difference. I now have a personal relationship with God. I just wanted to share what changed for me and how that shifted. Now, the one and only thing I do is to solely depend on God and to have a relationship with Him. There are only 3 things I do in my day-to-day life to wholly, fully depend on Him. And number 1, I start every day with gratitude. What this means is that I wake up grateful to be alive. I wake up, I open my eyes, and the first thing I give thanks for, and I still do this every day, is that I am breathing, I am alive, I did not die in my sleep, I have a new day, and I have an opportunity to live and show up fully as myself. I have a new day to try whatever I want. How this gratitude shows up in life is that as I give thanks, as I get out of bed, I still continue to give thanks to God. Sometimes I wake up with worship music and I use those praise and worship music to give praise to Him, to give thanks to Him for all the goodness that I have in my life. I wake up grateful that I have the air conditioning on, even when it's really hot. I give thanks and I'm so grateful that I have a roof over my head, that I have a place to call home, that I wake up and all my 4 limbs are working, that I am strong and healthy, that I can feel the aches in my body after a day of climbing. Like, I am so grateful for that. I wake up and I look in the mirror and I'm like, God, I am grateful that you made me. I am grateful that I am nay tall. I am grateful for my hair, for my face, for my body. I am just grateful. I am grateful that I have all my teeth, that I did not break them in my sleep. And so as I go about starting my day, I just go about giving thanks to God for every little thing in my life. After I start my day, I then take my communal elements, I take out the bread, I give thanks to Jesus for the bread of life, for His body on the cross, that He has given me salvation. He died for my sake so that I can live in eternity with God. And then I give thanks for His blood that covers me, that heals me. I give thanks for all that He gave up for me. He bore my sins on the cross. I take communion and I just give thanks. Honestly, you see this in a lot of YouTube videos and they tell you that gratitude is the right attitude to have. And I think just like waking up and giving thanks for the little things in life shifts your perspective. You wake up, give thanks, and your entire mood is shifted. You are feeling so grateful and thankful for every little thing that you have in life. It is impossible to have a bad day. The best way I can say this is that perspective shift, if you go about doing that every single day and giving thanks to God, you then focus on Him instead of your problems. You focus on how good He is instead of how bad your problems are. And when you focus on God, you lean in not on your own strength, but you lean in on His strength. And when that comes, you realize that you can't depend on human strength, you can't depend on man's strength, because I am limited, you are limited, we are all limited, but God, He is not limited. He made this world, He made this earth, He made us, He formed every single thing in this world. He made these beautiful plants that honestly look like they're camouflaged, and like for me that's just amazing. Like he made my fingers, he made my limbs, he made everything about me. Just starting with gratitude awakens me to his beauty and his power, and I just live my day in awe of him. If it's hard for you to give thanks for anything in your life, why don't you just start with one small thing? Wake up, take a deep breath, and thank God for that breath. Thank God that you are breathing. Thank God that you have another opportunity to just step out and turn your life around. Thank God for the friends in your life. Thank God, even if it's just one friend, thank God for that friend. Thank God for your family. Thank God for the fact that you can see, that you can taste, that you can smell. Just thank God for one thing in your life starting today, and do that every single day, and just watch as your mindset shifts. If you were in a relationship with someone, in a friendship with someone, just telling that friend that you're so grateful for them, that you're thanking them for being there for you, that draws you guys closer. That shows that you appreciate your friend. And so it's the same with God. As you give thanks to Him for what He has done in your life, you're deepening the bond with Him. You're showing Him that you appreciate Him. You are acknowledging Him in the areas of your life. And I find that so beautiful and important. And so if there's just one thing for you to do today, is give thanks to God. The second thing that I do every single day to depend on Him, or to learn to lean on Him, is to read His Word. Reading His Word every single day has become a habit for me, but it wasn't always like this. I barely read the Bible for 6 years. Honestly, most of what I knew about the Bible were from sermons or were from daily devotionals, as I mentioned earlier. It wasn't until I received a copy of the Passion Translation Bible that I started to read the Bible, and the Bible just leapt out so beautifully to me. So to give you some background, I was actually a literature student back in high school. I loved reading literature. I loved reading actually fiction books, everything from Shakespeare to Angela Carter to, I love reading fiction. Honestly, when I read the Passion Translation, I could see the beauty in the words. It reminded me of a literary text, and I just got to writing notes down on the Passion Translation and writing what jumped out at me on the page. It was like I was taken back to my student days where I was writing notes on each of my literary texts. Like my textbooks were filled with my notes, highlighters, and I just did the same thing for the Bible. There is no right, wrong, or best version of the Bible to read if you've not yet started. Start with anything that speaks out or jumps out at you. So for someone like me who's a bit more emotional, who really loves great text and great copy, the Passion Translation and the Message version of the Bible really spoke very deeply to me, because there was such richness in it, and I could feel the emotions behind everything that I was reading. So just start with the version that speaks best to you. If you don't know what versions are available, go download the Bible app on your phone and then go look at the different versions and see if any of them speak deeply to you, and start from there. I actually realized that the Mandarin version of the Bible is also very beautiful, because there are some words in Mandarin that English words cannot encompass, and so I also jump to reading the Mandarin version of the Bible sometimes. You don't have to read the Bible back to back. You don't have to follow the chapters. I love reading Proverbs or Psalms because they read like poetry, and there's so much wisdom in them, and when I'm reading them, I'm like, oh wow, how can I apply this to my life? Or I'm just in awe of certain verses, and if any verse jumps out at me, I highlight it and I ask myself, why did this verse jump out at me, and what is it speaking to me about my day-to-day life? You don't have to aim to finish a book or a chapter. Just read as much as you want and see what pops out at you, and then just take notes, write it down somewhere, think about it. Just think about the verse throughout the day and ask God, hey God, can you just tell me what this is saying to me? Can you tell me what you mean by this verse? And I think that going down that rabbit hole and asking those questions is a great first way to start. The Bible is amazing. There are so many stories in there. If you're addicted to Korean dramas, the Bible is like a Korean drama. There is murder, there is cheating, there are scandals, there is just so much. There are days when I read the Bible and I can just go non-stop. I'm like, oh my gosh, tell me what happens next. And there are also boring parts in the Bible. But when I read those boring parts, I'm always keeping my eye out for something interesting. And I love asking myself the question as to why was this verse in there, or what does this word mean? And I love using Google or just going down the rabbit hole of finding out what's behind each intention and meaning of each word. And I think that draws back to me being a literary student. So maybe ask yourself, what's a habit or a hobby that you like, or what's an important part of your identity, and how can you use that to discover the Bible? The Bible has always and often given me such deep sage advice for whatever I need in life. There can be days where I don't go reading the Bible for 2 to 3 days and I feel so parched and dry. And on the day where I open up the Bible and I'm facing a challenge in life, 100% of the time, the Bible has the answer for me. Like, I don't pick and choose the verses. I just open the Bible and there's always an answer there for me that I need. I was on a trip recently with my best friend Maisha to Bangkok for her birthday. I had not been able to sleep one night. I was so worried that I was going to turn 40 in a couple of years. I was so worried as to what would happen to my career. Would I be able to contribute on earth in this life? What was I going to do for the next couple of years? Like, I am going to be old in terms of the world's definition, and I just don't know if this is where my life should be. So I hadn't opened my Bible in like 3 days when I was traveling in Bangkok. And on the flight back, I opened my Bible and I was like, okay, it's time for me to read the Bible. And I had been in the middle of Joshua, which I never read before. I opened up to a chapter in Joshua that God spoke to me directly about my fear about turning 40. And I opened up to Joshua 14, and in verse 7 onwards in Joshua 14, this is what Caleb said to Joshua. I was 40 years old when Moses, the servant of the Lord, sent me from Kadesh Barnea to spy out the land, and I brought word back to him as it was in my heart. Nevertheless, my brothers who went up with me made the heart of the people melt with fear. But I followed the Lord my God fully. So Moses swore on that day, saying, the land on which your foot has walked shall certainly be an inheritance to you and to your children forever, because you have followed the Lord my God fully. And when I read that, I just burst out crying on the plane, because this to me was God telling me that, hey, continue to walk with me even when you're 40. Just speak the truth. Follow me and do not speak fear into the hearts of men. And the land which your foot walks on will certainly be your inheritance forever, because you have followed the Lord your God fully. And it continues, it says, and now behold, the Lord has let me live just as he spoke these 45 years from the time when the Lord spoke this word to Moses, when Israel walked in the wilderness. So from when Caleb was 40 until now, it's been 45 years. And then Caleb says, behold, I am 85 years old today. I am still as strong today as I was on the day Moses sent me. As my strength was then, so my strength is now, for war and for going out and coming in. I'm getting shivers, I'm tearing up, and when I read those verses on the plane, it really, like, I heard the Lord say to me, Kate, do not worry. Your years in front of you are plenty, Kate. You will be strong when you are 40. You will have a mission for me when you are 40. You will go out and scout the land out for me when you are 40. And when you are 85, you will be as strong as you were when you were 40. And this is not the first time he's done this for me. He has spoken into my life many, many more times. Whenever I open the Bible, he gives me an answer. He stills my fears, he stills the storms in my heart, and he speaks directly to me through the Bible. So if there is just one thing you need to do, if you want to hear from God, if you want to learn to depend on him, is to just open your heart and read the Bible. Read the Bible like a book. There is no right or wrong way to read it. Just read it and ask God to show you what he wants to tell you. And the third and last final way to draw near to God and to draw close to him is to talk to him. I say this a lot to a lot of my friends who are also non-believers, and I thank you to all my friends who are non-believers who listen to me ramble about God so much. But thank you for not treating me like I'm crazy, because I talk to God every single day. I ask him questions every single day. You can already tell when I wake up, I talk to God and I'm like, God, thank you. I read the Bible and I talk to God and I'm like, God, what are you saying to me? In my day-to-day life, I talk to God all the time. When I start the car and when I'm driving, I'm like, God, please protect me. When the sin in me rises and I start to get road rage and I get angry with people on the road for their poor driving, and I shouldn't, I talk to God and I'm like, God, will you help me? God, will you give me peace? God, will you bless this person and make sure they remain safe on the road? God, will you calm my storm? God, will you forgive me for being such an angry person? God, why am I so angry? God, talk to me. You know, even when I'm listening to praise and worship songs, I'm talking to Him. When I sing my favorite worship songs, I literally am actually still speaking to Him and like, God, I'm really so grateful for you. Like, thank you for everything that you've done. Thank you for your reckless love. Thank you for coming after me. Thank you for leaving the 99 behind and coming after this one lost sheep. Like, I talk to Him all the time. I always ask Him to be with me in any situation, in all my meetings, when I go for classes. I talk to Him even when I'm rock climbing. I'm like, God, I'm really scared right now, but I know you're with me and I'm just going to go for it, okay? When I face tough situations, I talk to God. I'm like, God, I'm really angry with this person, but I would love for it if you could help me out in this situation. I don't know what to do, but I'm sure you do. So will you please just show me wisdom and will you help me? What are you saying to me? And as I'm talking to Him, I also give Him space to respond. Even if you don't know His voice as clear yet, even if you don't know what He sounds like, it's okay. Just talk to Him. Even though God can see every little thing that we're doing, He even knows how many strands of individual hair I have on my head, even though He knows my thoughts, even though He knows me from the inside out, He loves hearing from me. He loves it when I share my day with Him. He loves it when I speak to Him. I mean, think about it. When you go home to your parents or when you meet your best friend, when you meet your sister, just sharing about your day makes such a difference. It builds such a strong connection. God wants that same connection with you as well. He wants your perspective. He wants you to take the effort to share with Him and talk to Him and just tell Him how you're feeling, even though He knows. It's okay. Like, I think it's the effort that counts. It's just like how just saying thank you or I love you to your loved ones, it makes a difference. Like, just 3 words can make such a huge difference, and God wants to hear those 3 words as well. And talking to Him, just start small. Like, just be like, hi. That's how I started. I was just like, hi God. That feels weird, but okay, hi. It's just acknowledging His presence and just starting with that tiny step. Talk to God, tell Him about your day, tell Him what's bothering you. You don't have to rant to other people, you can rant to God. It doesn't have to be such a serious conversation like, oh my Lord, like, you know, He just wants you to be real with Him and authentic with Him. There are no rules or boundaries. Just show Him who you are completely and start talking to Him. Just take the pressure off yourself. I've shared with you the 3 things I do every single day to learn to depend on Him, to learn to lean in on Him. And so the first one was to give gratitude to Him every single day when you wake up. You can also do that before you go to bed. What's one thing you're grateful for that day? The second thing is to read His Word. Make it really easy for yourself. Even if you're starting to read 1 line a day, that's totally fine. Find a version of the Bible that speaks to you. And the third thing is to talk to Him. Just say hi to Him today and see what happens. I hope this video has blessed you. If you need a prayer, feel free to find me on Instagram. I'm at HelloKateTan on Instagram. You can check out my other videos. I've got a video about my walk with God as well. And I hope that I can continue to share my walk with God with you guys, and also all the other things I do in life, from coaching to teaching to speaking and to living a healed life. So I thank you guys for watching my video again. Give me a thumbs up if this spoke to you, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.